Do you believe in love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in love?
No.
Okay.
I can't say I have.
Okay. Would you ever date a girl who was biologically a male?
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Okay, yeah, it's true. Yeah, a lot of people haven't thought about it.
It's something that's just never crossed my mind before.
Would that be a mental block, or if you love the person, you love the person, right?
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love. That's it.
Yeah, there you go, bro. Yeah, buddy, we're ready to go. We got the marker, we got the paper. I was thinking real talk, quick talk podcast. Let's see if that attracts people. So you either dance for the camera or you tell us your biggest fear in life. Which one do you pick?
I can't dance, and I don't know any fear of mine. I probably have some, but I don't know.
No, because you go to bed at night, you're like, and you start crying a little. Like,
Are those,
no?
what?
You're not like, no? When you're like, I'm so scared. No?
Do you?
I have some. But I'm interviewing you. Yeah, because there's a little girl out there that's 14 years old that's watching this, and she's like, man, this girl is so cool, and you could relate to her right now if you tell her that, yo, listen, we have the same fears.
My biggest fear in life. Oh my god.
What if you meet the guy of your dreams,
Okay.
just like you like them, right? But next thing you realize his thing is bent like a banana. It has a crazy banana bend. Crazy curve. Are you okay with that?
Can I just talk about my greatest fear?
Do you feel like you have fears and insecurities that are holding you back to fulfill your potential?
Me, I guess, because in my head I always perceive things so much more negatively, and I feel like I'm the person that's like holding me back from doing that. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
What would you need to overcome that insecurity?
I think the biggest thing is probably to open up and confront yourself and tell yourself the fears that you have, so you can, because if you keep it within you the entire time, you're constantly fighting against yourself within. So if you open up, it doesn't have to be with someone, but just say it to yourself. I feel like that's a way to sort of overcome your fears, I guess.
Yeah. How about we do it right now? Do you want to do it right now?
Opening up about my fears?
Yeah.
Biggest insecurity for me would probably be my academics.
The fear of failing itself. You know, if I fail this, it's going to delay me in life. If I fail a certain class, for example, maybe it'll delay my whole schedule of when I want to graduate.
I think once you reach a certain age, you have a fear of, or you're kind of concerned about going back to school, going back to educate yourself about certain things. Not everybody has this idea in their head, but I think as you get older, you kind of put more barriers in your way in terms of going to get that education or going to find resources, because you want to feel as though as you age you got the answers. But I think the wise man knows he knows nothing.
All those fears, man, are ego. Like, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would say same thing. It's sort of it's the fact that I have such great confidence in myself, and the idea of losing that is the fear. The idea that, like, if I actually attempt something and it doesn't pan out, then I have to accept the fact that I have flaws.
Yo, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, fear of failure is a big one.
Yeah, what's your greatest fear? The banana shape is not the greatest fear? Is it top 5?
Probably, maybe. Man, I should have walked in the metro. I should have gone home.
Shouldn't have done this interview. Have you been flirting with the idea of going back to school and you're holding back on that? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm flirting with the idea of going in and maybe doing some courses in a different industry. I feel like the way the world is going, it's better to have more cards in my deck than not.
For sure, especially after the pandemic, after industries were wiped out. Okay, so the fear of being judged.
Yeah, I guess, but not necessarily judged, just with internally. you're kind of
internally judging yourself.
like putting up your own obstacles because you feel as though maybe it's too late to go back and do that. But I have a friend who always says it's only too late when you're no longer here.
Sometimes I'm really scared of not being enough. Enough for who, enough for what, I don't know. But sometimes I feel like, I said that I was born very lucky, and I don't want to waste that because a lot of people weren't granted with that. So I don't want to take that, for granted and then just mess it up. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I have so much potential, and am I screwing shit up? So that haunts me.
Oh, that was beautiful. I got emotional.
I always had such low self-esteem, and that really stopped me from doing a lot of things. But now I have to say it's a lot better.
Well, you had the confidence to walk up to us. We have a camera pointing at you. There's two guys behind the cameras. There's me here, and you're willing to do this. So that's a sign of confidence, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's love. I need to feel like I'm loved, or that it's gonna be okay. Like, even if I fail like fucking the worst ever, like, I'm still loved, I'm still gonna be okay. I think without having that, it's real hard, I would say even maybe impossible to take some necessary risks.
Okay, but I want to go a little deeper. What is that exact fear, though? Because your fear was
unlovable. Being unlovable, being hopeless. I think those are my two.
So like shooting your shot, it fails, and then you're like, fuck, I'm officially unfuckable.
Well, I mean, you're saying it in a, yeah. Well, yeah, it relates into that too. But I would say like unlovable.
Unlovable, yeah, that's a better word.
Unfuckable, it's like, whatever, man. You don't like the way I look. That's more superficial.
Would you like to be famous?
Depends what for. Like, if it's something that I'm passionate about and I want to be recognized for, then I guess so, yeah.
Yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, in an ideal world, what would that be?
Something where I can express. To be honest, I don't know. I have no idea.
What would you want to express? Your creativity, your knowledge, your skills?
Probably my skills, but in a way that help other people. Not just for myself, but a way that other people can relate to it, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
What type of famous? Are we talking about, like, really famous? Then no. Like, if it's like mediocre famous, then sure,
Like 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, if we're talking about like 100 million followers, then no. I feel like it's too toxic nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's toxic about it?
It's like they care too much about what they post, and like they're not real. Like, especially all the celebrities nowadays, they just want to like either flex, or they pretend like there's someone on social media, but like in person they may be like the complete opposite. Like, that's just my opinion, but
yeah. What's something about the way you were raised that you would want to be different?
Okay, I'm from a Mediterranean family. So.
Mediterranean, you're not going to mention any countries here?
I'm Greek. So there you go, I'm Greek, so they have the really strict, like, tough love. I'm not a very tough love person. Sometimes I just really wanted that, I love you, it's gonna be okay, instead of just do better, and that really, it was out of love. I understand where it came from, but it didn't work for me. And they didn't really, if that's how their parents taught them, and then that's how they taught me.
Something that you would do differently if you were to have
Like
kids?
if I were to have kids, I think I'd be a little bit more strict on screen time.
Screen time, eh?
Yeah, I realized I had quite a bit of it as a kid. It wasn't the best thing in the world.
Right.
I mean, my parents, they did a great job raising me. I love them to death. But I realized at one point, like, I had maybe a little less screen time, yeah.
Are you the type that has like a poppin' ass Instagram, but your room is messy?
100%.
It's you. I knew that was you. So if there's something that you were to change about the way you were raised, what would it be?
In society, there is psychosocial skills that are not given in education throughout the system. Therefore, if your family does not have the right education, or what we call in the Barrett pyramid level of consciousness, and they do not teach you that in life you should serve, or you should focus on something else than your ego, then you're going to have that same struggle during your life, career, relationships. And as society does not provide the tools, but provides services that have to pay in order to get those tools, it becomes a little bit more tricky to do that. So if I were to grow up again, I will do it the same way because it created the person that I am, but I hope that not for me, but for my offsprings, I can provide that information that I was lacking. That has to do a lot with the consciousness level and the psychosocial skills. Barrett pyramid is basically a pyramid of level of consciousness that come from the Maslow pyramid. That is basically the same thing that we call the pyramid of need. Countries that are third world countries, they are more like in the need of pyramid because the population itself, they base more in necessity, they are surviving. They don't meet the needs, and the best you can arrive in the top of the pyramid, a few elite in those countries, and that's why they have the belief of elite, is a few people that can actually have that freedom of expression. As we're in Canada and we don't have the dangers of surviving as much, we arrive very fast to that top, fulfilling our practices or whatever, but we're still empty. So here in Canada, the system is in instead of Maslow, that is the need pyramid, is in the Barrett pyramid that has a opposite pyramid that doesn't end in your needs. There is a period of transformation, cohesion of self, finding your place, and service, selfless service. So that's what most people have to find. In Japanese, they call it the ikigai.
Okay, so selflessness being the most serving for not only the people around you, but for yourself as well?
Meaning that if you serve the people around you, you're serving yourself.
Okay. But you're still doing it for like a selfish reason, which is like yourself, no? Do you have a lesson or a takeaway from the whole confinement and not being able to see everyone you want to see?
To be honest, I lived my life. I didn't change anything.
Okay, you didn't. Okay.
No.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I didn't accost anybody, but you know, I hung around my family and I hugged the people I wanted to hug and, you know, washed my hands and shit like a normal fucking person. But I didn't, you know, I think one thing that I took away from the pandemic, it might be how important it is to understand what I don't know and can't know, and to derive the truth from myself.
Do you feel like you have insecurity or a fear that's holding you back in life right now?
I don't know. I feel like something that's really holding me back is that I'm always in like the mood for change. If that makes sense. Like I always want to, like I said, I want to do something new, and it's also because like I'm young. So like I want to do like a bunch of shit. I don't want to stick to one thing. And sometimes that can hold me back from some things.
Okay, you're the type that, do you get bored of relationships fast? You're that type, eh?
But I just don't get into one, so like...
Oh, you just don't get into them? Okay. So you're happy being single? Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoy it, like truly.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Trust your experience.
It's like the feeling of being embarrassed. Like, it's only embarrassing if you feel it in your stomach. But if you don't feel it and you shoot your shot at whatever it is, if you don't feel that feeling, it's not embarrassing.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
People want to impose embarrassment onto you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's a pretty hilarious thing. I'm a pretty goofy guy or whatever. So I'd do something weird, and then somebody would be there that I know, and they'd say, "Oh man, that's so embarrassing." I'd be like, "You can be embarrassed. Like if it's embarrassing for you, that's okay. You know, it's not objectively embarrassing though. You've stated something that's false." Yeah. But
what was the weird shit? We're trying to get some juicy stuff on video.
Weird shit. I don't know. Whatever. I can't think of a situation. Just I don't know. I'll do a little dance. I never really. No.
Get down tonight.
Yeah. What's the dance? Can we see the dance?
Fuck.
Oh, yo, we're getting dance on camera.
Yeah, like usually it's something like, you know, like just like a little something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like some hip and shoulders getting into it. You know?
You got some rhythm.
Yeah,
you got
thanks,
some rhythm.
man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got rhythm because there's no actual rhythm, so I can make it up in my head. But
okay, cool. Would you consider yourself happy?
Wow, that's a tough question. It's hard to define what being happy really is, but in my current situation in life right now, I would say that I am quite happy. I am happy with the people around me, with my friends, everything. I think I'm quite happy. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Would you consider yourself a happy person?
You know what? I don't think anybody's 100% happy. I like to say that I'm settled. I'm very comfortable with myself nowadays.